G'day, it's fugitive Australian journalist Shane Dowling from the website kangaroocourtofaustralia.com. Now, I'm about to show you some video of two of the executives from the big four accounting firms or consulting firms, whatever you want to call it. In the total and utter contempt they showed in a Senate inquiry over the last couple of days, giving evidence. Now, the Senate inquiry is actually titled Inquiry into Management and Assurance of Integrity by Consulting Services, which is in effect an inquiry into the big four accounting firms who, well, they basically over the last 10, 15, 20 years have reinvented themselves into consulting firms, and that's Ernst & Young, Deloitte, KPMG and PricewaterhouseCoopers. Now, the reason the Senate have an inquiry is because of the PricewaterhouseCoopers scandal, where they were busted giving government advice on how to reform tax laws to get further tax out of the multinational companies like Google, etc. And PricewaterhouseCoopers were at the same time selling advice to Google on how to avoid those taxes. So they were double dipping, and a scandal, it really requires a Royal Commission. And after you watch this video, you can have no doubt a Royal Commission is required, because these two consulting firm executives have just shown total and utter contempt for the Senate inquiry. Now, the first video is Deloitte chairperson Tom Embassy insisting he must first check with a government department, seeing it's okay to name that government department when his own company, Deloitte, have been busted misusing government information. One of its employees were busted. Anyhow, watch the video and watch Tom Embassy just ducking and weaving. It's absolutely disgraceful.
I want to know a bit more about your particular example of the misuse of government information that you've put on the record. And the specific example you talked about right at the beginning, which contract did that relate to?
Look, Senator, it was a government department, but again, that was all part of a confidential
we're here from the Senate.
Yeah,
We'd like to know the government department, please.
Yeah. May I suggest, Senator, we would like to obviously have the pre-approval of the department to provide that information. Can we please take that on notice? We will talk to the department and then...
Yeah. You seriously came here today thinking that we would not ask you about that particular example, which involves the misuse of government information, given that the background to this inquiry? I'm sorry, I'm taken aback by that.
Absolutely. We did expect to talk about it, but we didn't expect to reveal the detail.
So I'm asking for the name of the department. That's not divulging anything about the contract. I'll get to that. But please, could we have the name of the department?
I would like to get clearance.
I know you would, but I'm going to insist that you give us the name of the department.
We're not sure if that's appropriate at this point, Senator.
On what basis? What does it divulge?
Chair, it's Senator Pratt here. The witnesses need to state what their grounds of public interest are, not disclosing the information.
Well, we're simply saying that we would like to absolutely check with the department before we provide that information. We're not saying we're not going to. We'd like to check with the department and make sure that we don't have any other matters that we need to consider before we reveal that.
I want to make the point that this is the one example where your entity has misused government information, and you came here today with much time for preparation, unprepared to talk about the specifics of that. And that is one of the reasons why there is distrust about large consulting firms. You are opaque in the information you provide, even when clear notice is given that we will be interested in this matter, not just us, but the Australian public. So I am very disappointed that you're going to take that on notice. I think it is very untransparent of you.
Now, the second video is Ernst & Young CEO David LaRocca refusing to give the Senate inquiry important information in relation to the partners' pay. Now, as you'll see, Green Senator Barbara Pocock pointed out they could have blacked out and redacted certain information that was so sensitive, but they didn't. They just didn't hand over nothing. So it's just, once again, it's total and utter contempt for the Senate inquiry. So let's watch the video.
You distinguish yourself from PwC, and you're telling us you're different and that you are better. For me, I think for many of us and for many people watching this, it's deeds, not words, that people are looking for. I go to the deed of how you have responded to the questions on notice that we have given you. Those questions went to the partnership deed, which you have not supplied to us. We asked for earnings data for partners. You have decided not to supply that to us. We've asked for information about breaches of confidentiality generally and in relation to government work. You have not supplied those to us. And you haven't given us the proportion of your revenue that comes from government work. These are all critical questions in our terms of reference. Will you give us the answers to those questions now? Will you supply us with the information and put a deed where your words are?
So firstly, on partnership agreement, if you allow me to explain why we've decided that providing our partnership agreement reveals information that would be anti-competitive.
Mr LaRocca, I'm really conscious that the chair will be on my case if I don't get quick answers and go through my half a dozen questions. So please don't give me a long answer. Please cut to the chase. Why do we not have in front of us right now your partnership agreement?
I'm in the process of answering your question, and
Please
I explained it.
briefly.
It's a serious topic, and I accept that, but I'm explaining our rationale for not providing it. Our partnership agreement contains things like arrangements for partners leaving the firm, for example, when they choose to join a competitor. That is our rationale for not providing the partnership agreement.
You could provide your partnership statement to us with redacted sections. If there are particular critical questions, you could provide it to us in confidence. But you have not done that, and this is a critical piece of the way you work. This is your modus operandi, and we have a right to know, given the billions of dollars that are your revenue.
Senator, I'm
not convinced by what you're offering us. There are other ways you could do it.
I'm happy to take that on notice.
So for the chairperson of Deloitte and the CEO of Ernst & Young to show up to a Senate inquiry and just duck and weave and direct the senators what information they will and won't give them, that says you need a Royal Commission, because the Royal Commission, they'll subpoena that information. If they don't hand it over, they'll take them to court and force them to hand that information over. That's what happened in the recent inquiry into the police corruption in ACT. The AFP weren't handing over certain information, so the inquiry in effect took them to court, and they quickly changed tune and they handed over the information they were withholding, the Australian Federal Police, that is. So that's what needs to happen with these four big accounting firms or consulting firms. They've been paid at least $10 billion over the last 10 years, probably double that or triple that, we don't know the full amount at this point. And with the contempt they've shown the Senate inquiry over the last couple of days, says the only way you're going to get to the truth is by a Royal Commission. And for some reason, the old media aren't showing you all that video. The video I just showed you, which I think is very important, because we think that politicians are running our country. Well, they're not. The four big consulting firms are, and they've let the Senate inquiry know that. Anyhow, I'll be publishing an article on my website, Kangaroo Court of Australia, on Thursday, the 20th of July, 2023. So make sure you visit my website tomorrow, and you'll be able to see further information there and click on the links. Or if you go there now, you can sign up for the free email subscription and you'll get an email as soon as I publish a new article. And if you do that, you'll get a confirmation email. Just click on that and you'll be on the list then. And if you're watching this video on YouTube, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button and the notification button so you'll be notified of new videos. And Kangaroo Court of Australia's independent media. I publish a website, YouTube channel, Facebook page and Twitter account. And I'm reliant on donations to keep on publishing. I'm 100% crowdfunded by viewers like yourself. So please support my Patreon account. I currently have 277 patrons donating $1,678 a month. I really need to double that to become financially viable. And you can donate any amount, $3, $5, $10, $15, $20, $30, $40, $50, whatever suits your budget. It all helps out in a big way. So please support that. And please share this video on Facebook and Twitter, etc. Thank you for your time and have a good day.